This week's Haftarah is very keenly selected to match up with this week's Torah reading. Not just because it deals with, shall we say, the cultic matters, the sacrificial matters, the order of the divine service. That's the building of the temporary makeshift temple tabernacle, if you will. Whereas in the Haftarah it talks about the construction of an altar and the like, and the day it's dedicated, and the procedures and all that. Yeah, there's the parallel in that regard. But if you note, this week's reading and this week's Haftarah are very similar in that it seems to get a lot into the nitty-gritty, the details. This many amot, this many cubits, this many handbreadths, this long, this many of those, and that many of these, and they're connected over here this way, and a lot of details. Why? I mean, sure, okay, there are details, but do we need to know it? It was a one-off back then. Do we need to know today? And the truth is, the whole concept of the divine service is to have a connection to and a relationship with God. In fact, the term korban is very often mentioned in offering. It's called korban, which is from the root karev, to be near or to approach, to come close. The whole idea is to establish that relationship between us and the divine. So why all the details, the nitty-gritty? Who cares if there are 11 sheets as opposed to 10 sheets, or that there were 50 hooks, or it was this many, is that many, and who cares? The truth is that there's a deep lesson here, which isn't what the numbers are specifically. I'm sure there are deep significances and all that, but it's the fact that you should care. Because what makes a good relationship, father, son, brothers, sisters, husband and wife, parents, whatever, what makes a good relationship is not the big things. Life isn't the births, deaths, and marriages, the bar mitzvah, the milah. Life is the everyday. It's the cleaning up the sink after you've brushed your teeth so that there isn't toothpaste all over the place, so that when your brother comes in the next morning, he doesn't discover hardened and crusty toothpaste in the sink. Or so that your wife doesn't have to see it when she comes to brush her teeth. Or your husband, or what have you. It's making sure that you close up the toothpaste and you clean it up afterwards. It's the little things like, I know you've been busy, I'll cook dinner tonight. I've had a hard day, do you mind watching the kids? Or children saying to their parents, I know you've had a hard time, how about you relax and we'll make dinner together? And then the parents worry, oh my god, what are we getting ourselves into? But they appreciate the thought. It's that you're there for each other. It's the little bits, it's the noticing. The noticing, time after time after time, the development, the relationship that occurs over all of these little details. Every one little detail, while not important in itself, sums to a whole. If you don't remember that my favorite pie, for example, is apple rhubarb, so you buy me an apple pie by mistake, okay, big deal, right? I appreciate it. I still like apple pie. But if you don't remember that my favorite pie is apple rhubarb, and you buy me apple pie, and you don't remember that my favorite cake is carrot cake, yum. So you get chocolate cake and said, hey, chocolate cake is awesome. But it's the little things that, when they add up, are missing. Any one detail by itself may not matter that much. But it's the little things that show that you really care. For example, I like carrot cake, right? Often served with walnuts on the top. Very often served with sultanas in it as well. I don't like the sultanas. Most carrot cake, unfortunately, is sold with sultanas in it. But if you bring me a carrot cake without sultanas in it, I might say, hey, this one doesn't have sultanas. And I might find out that you went out of your way to find the bakery that made carrot cake without sultanas, or that you specifically asked them not to put it in. Because it's just those little things that show that you care. That's what a relationship is. So, does it really matter whether it's 135 or 134? Yeah. Because if I like carrot cake without sultanas, and you go out of your way to do that for me, I will show you such appreciation for it. I will love you forever for that. Seriously, carrot cake is good. But I won't love you because of the cake or because it's delicious. I will love you because you cared enough to put in that effort. Details can matter, They say don't sweat the small stuff, but sometimes it's important. So don't lose the forest for the trees. Definitely don't miss out on the big picture. But you can't ignore the trees for the sake of the forest either. Shabbat Shalom.